y equals negative 2 f of 2/3 x minus 1 minus 1. First thing I notice here is that the 2/3 is already factored out of the x minus 1, so that b value 2/3 is already separated, so everything in this one's set up and good to go and ready to start labeling. Okay, my a value is negative 2, which is two things. First, it's a reflection in the x-axis because it's a negative. And also, it is a vertical expansion by a factor of 2. So it's an expansion because 2 is bigger than 1. The b value is 2/3, but though we use this, we always got to remember that we got to flip this. So this is actually a horizontal expansion by a factor of 3/2 because the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2, which is 1.5. So we're going to multiply the x values by 1.5. The h value is positive 1 because it's x minus 1 inside the brackets. It's actually opposite, so it's a positive 1, which is a horizontal translation, 1 unit to the right. The k value at the end, the last one, is a negative 1, which is a vertical translation 1 unit down. So because it's outside the brackets, it stays the same. So that h value, it's inside the brackets, it's opposite. K value, outside the brackets, it stays exactly the same. So now I'm going to set up my mapping for the x and y coordinates. So first thing, my x value, I need to multiply it by 1.5, and then I'm going to add 1 to that value so that I can move it to the right one. My y value, the a value is negative 2, and that's what we multiply y by. So it's going to be negative 2y, and then we're going to move it down 1, so that's minus 1. Then the points for this one, I'm going to use the exact same points as the last example. So A, B, C, and D. A is the point, negative 4, 0. So I'm going to substitute negative 4 in for x, 0 in for y in the mapping. So I'll get 1.5 times negative 4 plus 1, and negative 2 times 0 minus 1. And I get A prime is negative 5, negative 1. For b, the coordinates are negative 2, negative 2. I'm going to sub those coordinates into the mapping diagram, and I get b prime is negative 2, positive 3. C, the coordinates of C are 2, 2, and I'm going to sub 2, 2 into our little mapping of the coordinates, and I'm going to get C prime is 4, negative 5. And lastly, D has coordinates 4, 0. I'm going to substitute 4 in for x, 0 in for y, work it out, and I should get d prime is 7, negative 1. Now I'm just going to plot these 4 points, a prime, b prime, c prime, and d prime, and just make sure when you connect them, if you're ever not sure which point to go to, it's like a dot to dot. So you just got to make sure you go A to B to C to D. Lastly, I would just look at it and make sure it makes sense. So this is supposed to be a reflection in the x-axis, so it looks like it's flipped over, and it's been expanded both vertically and horizontally, so it looks pretty good. The shift is a little tricky. It looks like it's been shifted down, but the shift to the right isn't quite so obvious, but that point D prime is 2 over from D, whereas A is just 1 to the left. So that's because it's been expanded horizontally and then shifted.